I fully understand you won't have time to read this as you have more pressing things to do than worry about a little thing like education. Young people everywhere had just got on board your Brexit negotiation train, accepting that it was full steam ahead. Top priority. Nothing could be allowed to obstruct the path, especially not by people going to the polls, such as those people north of the border minus when. Hey presto. Minus we are having an election, after all. Does it bother you that when young people discover that something a politician says one day is the opposite of what that politician said a few weeks earlier, they might think you folks are not entirely truthful? So, exciting times. One advantage for you is that you might not have to face the cameras or the Today program with people asking you most unreasonably to come up with the name of at least one expert who thinks that grammar schools are a good idea. You failed to think of one. Have you blamed your backroom staff? The least they could have done was find you someone who could do that anecdote thing. I went to grammar school, and it made me great. I know that has the snag of proving precisely nothing unless such people can also prove that they would have not become great if they had gone to a secondary modern school. Or b. People from their background don't succeed when they go to comprehensives. The awkward facts here are that the secondary moderns of the late 50s and 60s often had a grammar school stream that regularly outperformed the lower streams of the grammar schools. And b. Bright children do succeed at comps. Bright children like you. In fact, a roaring success rooted in your years at comprehensive school. Anyway, good news. Not too many more of those road crash interviews about grammar schools. Not such good news for us, though, is that a manifesto based on backing Theresa May's negotiating skills over Brexit is likely to include a clause in small print on why England needs grammar schools. If your side wins, you will claim, no doubt, this is a mandate. And as we all know, when a government makes a change, a mandate is more important than evidence. Or as one wag once put it, if those are the facts, so much the worse for the facts. I imagine the excellent Angela Rayner, Labour's Shadow Education Secretary, will push you and your colleagues on the matter of funding. Your Education Minister Nick Gibb, and the Department for Education will be as aware as anyone at the moment that schools are implementing cuts. Schools aren't doing this because they enjoy cutting staff, facilities, maintenance, or courses. They're doing it because they have to. Everyone involved in education knows this is happening: management, teachers, support staff, pupils, parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts. We all know. We are getting letters from our children's schools with a begging bowl enclosed. The letters say things like, your children's school will be in the high street this Saturday, with balloons and kazoos, competing with Oxfam and the local hospice for your money. If you see our head teacher in a clown suit, with a stuffed effigy of Michael Gove, calling out, penny for the school, please contribute. Or the more sober ones have a tear-off section on the bottom of a long, weepy letter where we are invited to use equity release on our homes to pay for our children's state education. It's the new equality. It's not just parents who send their children to private schools who have fees to pay. It's all of us. Your brief to keep repeating that funding for schools is at an all-time high assumes we can't do our sums, division in particular. It may surprise you, but we've figured that if the money a school has to spend goes down, It's a cut. It follows that every time you say, all-time high, we shout at our TV and radio sets. You haven't fooled us. One tip for the campaign. Probably best to steer clear of that stuff about millions of highly skilled people that this great global trading nation will need in the future. Some people have rumbled what is really going on. Your pals in big business are trying to survive by automating everything. That means employing a tiny number of extremely skilled people, but fewer and fewer at all other levels. Fair play. Your government has disguised this with 0-hours contracts and phony self-employment. But even so, it's a dodgy area to get into at election time. So, on to polling day. Another day when many children will be told to stay at home. But that's okay. We parents haven't noticed that we get fined when we do that. Yours, Michael Rosen.